Hey guys, it's Ty and welcome back to V Vlogs. As you can see, Winnie's just hiding back there. Jessie's upstairs right now, but I decided to be a little zealous and we're just gonna do the vlog. At least just do a little bit before she comes down. So, since we haven't done this in a while, I figured we should. As per your guys' request, we're gonna talk more about some of the haunted houses that my family lived in. And yeah, so I'm just gonna call my mom right now and she's gonna talk about the last house. I think we touched on just a little bit, but yeah, we'll learn a little bit more about the history of houses that I used to live in. So just give me one sec here. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, how's it going with you?
Doing all right. We got the camera set up and everything, so the pressure's on once more.
Uh-oh. Very good.
So yes, so I think you touched a little bit on the one house, like right at the end of last vlog.
Yes.
So is there any more things that you can think of that happened there? Because I know, like, it was how old was the place again?
The house was built in 1890.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the original part of the house.
Yep.
The kitchen, what was like our family room, like the kitchen dining room area, the family room, and then upstairs it would have been the original bathroom upstairs, your bathroom.
Yeah.
And then your room and Bear's room.
Okay.
And that was the original house.
Yeah.
And then so the big addition where our room, my studio, and then downstairs the real living room and the whole laundry room area, and then that side of the basement. So that's the new basement, the high basement. Oh, and the low basement was original too.
Yeah, because I remember the little basement that we had. So
yeah.
Just for a little bit of background, we had two basements in our house, and one of them you could barely stand up in, and even like the support beams still had the bark on them. It was very much unrefined, but it held the old part of the house up, and then we had the new part, which actually had a basement we could stand in. But anyway, sorry for interrupting.
Yes. Just for record.
Yes.
So the doorway that went out from our kitchen to the hallway where the new front door was, that used to be just outside, and that's where I saw that old man in the wheelchair, was right there, because I'm sure there was like a little door there to go outside where there was just grass, and so he was probably outside and excuse me, of what was the original house.
Mm-hmm.
I think the property and the barn, I know at least the barn was built in 1890, and I think the house was probably built 1890, or maybe, it could have been put up a year or so before. And then the addition, by the time we got there, the addition had been started about 20 years before, we figure, and it was still kind of an ongoing thing when we got there, and everything was finished right up.
I thought the addition was a lot newer than that.
No, because he had started it. The people that lived there before us had bought the house about 20 years before that, and okay. And sorry, I just got a message, but that's fine. The house he started work on it as soon as they moved in, because I think he did all the renovations in the old house first. You know how it still had all the old walls, but everything inside was newer.
Yeah, like how he kind of decorated everything with the oldish looking wood.
Yeah, like I think the walls came down because most of it was that shiplap, so it was the wood that interlocked together.
Yeah.
And so most of the walls came down, and then he fixed all the. Well, he did a beautiful job because you couldn't even tell. It looked like the house was still, well over 100 years old. And it looks like he pulled the walls down, kept everything, changed all the plumbing and the wiring to make it safe, and all updated, and then put everything back in again. And the same thing with the addition. Even though the addition was fairly new, it looked really, really old because he used all reclaimed products. It was all new inside the walls, but then the walls were all covered in old shiplap and like original molding. And I think that has a lot to do with what happens in a house as well. Because even if a house is brand new, if they've used reclaimed and older materials, or if you decorate with even older pieces of furniture and stuff.
Well, it basically kept like all the bones of the old house with like all the structure was still the same. It's just he freshened it up a little bit. Yeah,
it was the stuff that was inside the walls that was all new, but everything else was old. And other stuff that had been brought to the site and used to construct. The new portion of the house was still old. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't exactly wiring and if it wasn't exactly plumbing, it was still old stuff. And I think that contributed a lot to the spirit of the house and what we found that happened there. But anyway, as for what happened there, one thing that would happen all the time. I'd be upstairs working in the studio. I'd hear one of you guys call me. I hear, Mom. And I say, yes. And I wait for a second, and I wouldn't hear anything. So I'd go back to work, and I figured maybe, you know, you guys were playing your video games and wanted a drink or something. So since I was working, I just wait for a second because I'd want to hear if you call me again. And I'd hear, Mom, and I'd say, yes. And so I'd get up and go out, and you and or Bear, or neither of you, like there'd either be nobody there, you'd be like right downstairs or outside, or if you were there, I'd say yes, and you'd say, what? And I'd say, you called me. No, I didn't. You're hearing things again. But it's not like it was me just hearing things once. This happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, I was always confused why you'd come down and ask if we were calling you when we would be just eating or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, you'd be like, you know, somewhere else. And then it started to get clearer, and it was not you. It was a girl. It was a girl that was calling.
I like how my voice is closer to a girl.
No, it was just, I just heard Mom before. I didn't hear like definition. It was muffled, and I just heard Mom, Mom, Mom. And then it got to the point where it was like a girl. I could define that it was a higher pitched voice. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't one of you guys. It sounded like a girl. And it was kind of freaky the first time, like, because there's no girls in our house except me. And I remember you had some friends over. You'd had a little get-together. And I got up in the morning and came downstairs, and one of your friends was standing in the kitchen. And she was absolutely great, chalky white, and just staring at me with, like, big, huge saucer eyes. And I said, did you hear something? And she said, yes. And, like, she'd been cleaning up the dishes and stuff from the night before. She was absolutely terrified. And I said, did someone call you Mom? And she said, yes. Right beside me, and there was nobody there. It's okay, it happens all the time, it's not that scary, but she was pretty scared, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
But the only time that I ever was really, really creeped out there, and I was alone a lot by myself because I worked at the house, the only time I was ever creeped out, excuse me, was one Friday night when your dad was off playing hockey. I don't know where you guys were, both of you were gone, and it was winter, and I was sitting in the family room.
Was this maybe when I was at college?
No, because we hadn't been there for long.
Okay.
And it only happened once.
I might have been living in the other town for the 6 months at that point.
Maybe that's where you were, and then Darren got out somewhere.
Yeah.
But I was home alone, and it was just me and the animal. And it was funny because we were sitting in the family room, and I think I just had some music on or something. I was reading, and we were sitting in the family room, and all the animals were around me, and all of a sudden it got really quiet. I don't even think I had music on that because it got just quiet. Like I wondered why it was so quiet, and I looked up from my book or my knitting or whatever I was doing, and all the animals turned and looked up to the far right corner of the room at the same time.
Looked up, not onto the ground corner, but the ceiling corner.
Up. Ceiling corner of the room.
That's freaky.
You know where the old wood stove was?
Yeah, like where it connected up into the ceiling?
Where it connected to the ceiling, and they all turned and looked up at it. And I sat there for a second, and all the hair stood up on the back of my neck.
I would have just left at that point.
Yeah, they were all just staring. Because at first I thought, oh, maybe there's a bird in the chimney. But there was no noise like that. Not like one of them ran over to look at the stove or anything. It was just, they just all turned and looked. They all, like at the same time, all their heads swiveled and they turned and looked up. And I said, all right, I'm done. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I grabbed Raymond and we went upstairs. And I think I just rolled up that night too. Because I didn't want her downstairs by herself, and they all came upstairs with me.
I would have been out of the house. I wouldn't have been able to sleep. The haunted hotel stuff that we just did, just knowing the place was that there was all that stuff going on, I wasn't able to sleep.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, but even if we had birds in the chimney, they make like a huge noise when they're scratching around in there.
They do. They make a massive noise. So no, it definitely was not that. It was not that. Because that did happen to me once or twice. That startled me a little bit.
Whenever we had birds in the chimney, it was really freaky because you just hear like a scratching noise, like a very eerie scratching noise, because it wasn't like quick little patters most of the time. It was like a long scratching noise as they were trying to figure out where they were.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and the barn itself was, it was a creepy looking barn.
Well, it was creepy, and it also didn't help the fact that I know the previous owner's son was a very avid crossbow throwing knife collector. So you'd find there'd be holes punched through everywhere and like knives and crossbow bolts sticking out of the walls before we got there. It wasn't a very inviting place, and it also didn't help the fact that the entire thing was being held up by airline cable.
Yeah, and it tilted completely to the right and backwards.
Yeah.
Because of the wind, because I mean, we lived in like wind turbine alley up there, and so there was constantly like 100-kilometer wind up there is nothing.
Well, we lost our barbecue down the road a few times. That's why we had to build it in. And even when we built it in, we had issues.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the tornado watching.
Yeah, first time having my friends over, there was a tornado down the street, so it was a common occurrence for stuff like that to happen.
Your responsible mother said, "Come on, guys, let's go look at the tornado."
Instead of hiding in the basement.
There, I thought maybe we should be doing this.
Yeah.
It was just a little pretty.
I know, it was an F0, but it could still hurt you if you were there. It bent metal.
I know. That's why after a minute and a couple of pictures, it was okay. Come on, get in the house, down the basement, let's go. The barn, there was never anything specific. It was just always active. Like, do you remember Ashley's barn?
Yeah.
And how crazy that was there? Like, there was days when you were little that you would not come in the barn with me.
Yeah, because it was freaky, because I would see the person in the rocking chair all the time.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, you said it didn't scare you, you just said there was just too much going on, you just couldn't handle it. It was just too much. But we're pretty sure that was Ashley's grandfather, because he changed the radio station. Like, every time we changed the radio station, he changed it back.
Yeah.
Every single time. And you said, well, of course, that it's that older man, the one that sits in the chair all the time. And he'd move the wheelbarrow around, and the chair would move back and forth. And I had to go in. I had no choice. I had to go in and clean the stalls and muck at the horses, and you just stay outside. And that's very much what this barn was like, what our barn was like at that last farm. Just so active all the time. That was probably the oldest, original, untouched place on the entire farm was the barn when we moved in. I know that I was really sad when we had to take it down. I cried.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you again, Mom, for talking about this again and taking time out of your schedule, because I know you've been working like crazy with your business right now, so.
I'm trying. That's the message that I got while I was on the phone.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We'll talk to you again very soon, and thank you for calling me.
All right. Well, thank you for telling us the stories. We love hearing you.
All right. All right. I love you, sweetie.
Yeah, love you too, Mom.
Okay, give Jess a hug.
I will.
Okay, bye, love.
Okay, bye. Ooh. There we go.
Hi guys, just wanted to pop in and say hi. My schedule's crazy today. I'm running around all over the place, so Ty was nice enough to do this vlog with his mom. I hope you guys enjoyed it, but I have to run. I'm a bunny today. I'm like hopping everywhere, so Ty will stay close. But I want to say hi. Hello, bye. Hi, bye. Doing so much right now. I'm so busy. I gotta run. I'm so sorry.
You're shirking off your duties. Supposed to help me. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, though, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next vlog. See you guys. Say bye, Winnie.